Well, there. My name is sometimes Heather and I play Elder Scrolls Online. Today I'm going to charge my mouse instead of my keyboard. There we go. And also, today we are going to... What did I click? Oh. Sorry about that. The choice of driving with wireless things. Okay, here we go. So today we are going to continue the Western Skyrim zone story with Mary Ann Rose, my storm vampire. But before we do, I have a daily reward of 5,000 tellers. Thank you, Todd. And I also have a crown grade because I watched a Twitch stream. Twitch has drops active, so watch for, was it 30 minutes and claim a free Ouroboros grade. Let's open wine together.
Farewell, my good friend.
Inventory full. We're off to a strong start. Blow of the Wilder Queen. Am I ever going to use that? Heck no. I have a little bit of a hoarding problem here, so
Care to bargain?
Inventory always bloated. Now to the concrete.
Fortune favor you, my friend.
Wow, poison. Ooh, poison. Wow, potion. Ooh, mimic stone.
See, you are out of crates. You can always purchase more. Until next time.
Oh well, could be worse. I could have paid for it. Let's continue with Theme Zone story by speaking with Svana.
The information you brought back from Blackreach might give us a fighting chance. Let's put our heads together and figure out how to use what you learned. My father be damned.
We killed Zingalis and brought back a map and a communique. The enemy calls itself the Grey Host.
The Grey Host? Where have I heard that name? Meanwhile, my father rounded up the Herald and moved his soldiers to the outer walls. Then he ordered the quartermaster to stockpile Castle Dower. He's preparing Solitude to withstand a long siege.
And you don't agree with that approach?
That might work against a mob of Reachmen, but thick walls can't stop a Herostorm.
True.
Any war we try to wage will be over before it starts if we don't find a way to stop them. Fen knows more about the storms than anyone. See what he suggests.
I will speak with Fen about countering the Herostorms.
Talk to Fen. If he has any bright ideas, I'd love to hear them.
As usual, after the initial conversation, we get a chance to explore the lore a little bit further, but as mentioned, I have issues with Svana's voice, so
It's all right.
let's speak
I'm ready
with
to
Fen.
help.
Fen, I do like. And as usual, we are doing Kiko.
I know what you need me to do. Put my experience behind me. Focus on the mission, just like Verandis taught me. Could you show me the research you recovered from Exarch Zingalis' laboratory?
I've found notes on werewolves and netherroot and a potion made from netherroot and other ingredients. Also, I would like to point out how beautifully Fen is framed here. Joy.
These notes prove my theory. Netherroot is the key component of the Herostorm ritual. It's like a poison for the soul. Weakens the bonds to the body so it can be pulled free. They're harvesting life energy from anyone caught in the storms.
Why would they want to harvest life energy?
I'm guessing, but it may have something to do with those stone husks we saw. Remember how the werewolf emerged from one? And look at the mixture you retrieved. It isn't like the residue we recovered from the witch pike. It's more concentrated.
Could that be what they're going to use to make the Harrowstorm stronger?
It's certainly what Singolis's notes imply. Despite how it looks, a plan is formulating in my mind. I think I can create an elixir, but I'll need more of this refined netherroot brew. And we need to solve the mystery of the Coven medallions.
Alright. Anyone have any idea where we're going to find this stuff?
I can help with that. Bring the map from Singalis' sanctum over here. Place it on the table. I want to
Place
show
map
you something.
on table. Sounds simple enough.
See those marks? Grey host sites that correspond to the communique we found. I know a commander's map when I see one. Each of those marks matches a location mentioned in the communique from Rada al-Saran, the leader of the Grey host. I can already see where we need to go.
Where do you think we should look?
That mark on the northwest coast, that's an Ice Reach Coven camp. The communique mentioned needing more medallions. Odds are, they come from there. And here, a Midland camp between Dragonbridge and Morthal. It's a staging ground for the Harrowstorms.
And that's where we can find the refined netherroot brew.
More than likely. Those two locations should provide what Fen needs to finish his elixir. We can't bet everything on that, though. The communique mentions a warlord's camp in Blackreach. Maybe we can learn more about their ultimate plan there.
3 camps, that's a lot of ground to cover.
Svanna, Fen, and I will divvy up the camps and scout ahead. Fen should investigate the coastal camp. I'll take the Midlands camp. That leaves Svanna with Blackreach. Meet up with each of us when you're ready. Then we'll hit each camp in turn.
What should we expect to find at these Grey host camps?
We don't have a lot of solid details, just what we've pieced together from the Grey host's notes and communique. But I'll answer your questions the best I can. Which camp did you want to ask about?
We actually can find
That's
out
the one we know the
more
least about.
when we
But it's
reach each cavern. And also, I will leave the lore to you. Why, thank you. I try to make my channel a safe, happy place that's full of relaxation, because that is what the game is for me. A safe, happy place where I can basically just chill. So, where to first? Let's go here first. It's conveniently close to a way shrine. Am I still a stage 4 vampire? Yes, I am, for 50 minutes longer. Also, let's see what today's daily endeavors are. Today's daily endeavors encourage us to earn 1 event ticket, complete 1 arena, complete 1 holiday event quest, capture 1 resource in Cyrodiil, or defeat 55 enemies with scribed abilities. This is actually easier than it sounds. You don't have to kill the enemies with scribed abilities. All you need is to use scribed abilities on them and then kill them with whichever attack you want. Also, Chester's Festival is starting today. Yay! We will take part in that tomorrow at around 9 PM, I think. Chester's Festival is one of those festivals or events that can also be called Groundhog Day, because quests there repeat themselves exactly the same each year, and we need to, if we want event tickets, we need to complete the same event quests over and over and over again each day for the duration of the event. Sure. For the first 3 days. Oh, look pretty. Harrowstorms are the kind of world events that can in theory be soloed, but in practice that's hella difficult, and I do not recommend it. They usually when you're online at a like popular hour, you can find a lot of people there, but sometimes when you look on at saying 2 p.m. on a Thursday, there's no one there. So we shan't examine that today. When you combine examine and investigate, you get examinate. Ben is
good.
already
hoping
here,
you'd show up.
speaking with. Ben seems to be a mandatory
Lyris
step.
was right. This camp is crawling with the Ice Reach Coven. And they're definitely producing the medallions here. I was even able to slip away with one. We need to get closer, though.
Closer.
There's more to figuring out this magic than just watching from afar. I need to know exactly how they go about creating them. With your help, we can learn everything about that here in this camp.
What's so special about this camp?
It's a landing site for the boats coming from the island of Ice Reach. Plus, they're collecting something here that goes into the process of creating the medallions. If you can get me to the center of the camp, I can learn what that is.
I will help you reach the center of the camp.
Determining how they create these medallions will be an enormous help.
So, that sounds like we need to fight our way in. Oh yes, I changed one thing about Lillian's build and
Examine the headstones. Let's determine what's so special about the exhumed
I
bodies.
should be mindful of that. Examine the headstones of tombs. Brokel, exhumed. Healer's Brokel, beloved son, herder, died in his sleep, old as Karen. Uthbat, exhumed. Healer's Uthbat, son of real chief killer, as and old as the hills. A warrior born, he passed on the privy with a keeping of scorn. Only in Emil Scrolls games. Unknown, a traveling merchant run through by bandits. This daughter of Skyrim, thought old and wise. Also exhumed. Lekka the Corpulent, exhumed. Lekka the Corpulent, old as the Hest. This mother of Murkmire, scholar of our ways, she died of heartbreak. One more. Harlock the Bastard, exhumed. Beneath this stone lies Harlock the Bastard, a tired old wastrel and brother of Job, a layabout in life who froze in a pleasant.
Finished? Have you come to any conclusions? Well, we've both been over the headstones with a fine-toothed comb. If we can determine why the Coven dug up these particular bodies, it will tell us something about how the medallions were enchanted.
Let's discuss what we found on the headstones.
Of course. Compare notes and look for commonalities. You have the makings of a fine scholar, my friend. Now, let's see. I noticed there were a mix of different races buried here. They weren't all Nords. Anything strike you about the departed?
Two options. Let's go with they all shared something in common when they were alive.
Really? What was that?
Actually, no. we shall
Well,
try the
we've
other
both-
option.
Of course.
They all
Compare
shared
notes
something
and
in
look for
common when they died.
commonalities. They did. Tell me more.
They were all old when they died.
Of course. Why didn't I see that? The headstones on the exhumed graves all mentioned that the person was old when they died. Let me think. Some necrotic spells require the remains of the elderly. Something to do with the natural decay of life.
The natural decay of life.
According to one necromantic theory, the older a living thing becomes, the more necrotic energy it naturally acquires. As a body grows old and withers, the life inside it decays. Necrotic energy is the byproduct of this deterioration.
Does that tell you enough to figure out how to create the medallions?
I now know enough about how they create the medallions to move my research along. I'll return to the Blue Palace and start putting an elixir together.
What else do you need me to do?
To fully craft an elixir to defend against the Harrow Storms, I still require a sample of refined netherroot brew. Plus, we need to determine what the Grey Host has planned. Help Lyris and Savannah at the other camps. Then meet me at the Blue Palace.
We can do this. The next destination seems to be here. I'm going to travel outside of my alpine gallery to save time. Also, I'm running here. From here is about the same distance as running from Morthal Waste Shrine, so this does actually save a little bit of time and effort. Makes life a little bit more convenient. I forgot to mention that there is a golden pursuit happening. A brief one and very much related to PvP. The game devs want to get like information about how this is not the correct way, is it? Oh, we can get there from here. Never mind. Yes, information about how much punishment the PvP servers can take, and therefore there's a special campaign happening in
Just arrived. Don't worry, I found something to keep me occupied.
in Cyrodiil, and related to that there is a golden pursuit which requires you to do all sorts of PvP activities in Cyrodiil. I have actually been there to look around a little bit, and the campaign is actually really fun and brainless. If PvP stays like that, it will be horrendous, but as a kind of like a PvP snack, excellent. So let's speak with Lyris.
A bold move setting up camp in the midst of the Western Holds. I'll say this for the Grey Host. They aren't afraid to draw attention to themselves. I learned a few things while I was waiting for you to show up.
Tell me what you found out.
It's just as we thought. The Grey Host is using this camp as a supply depot for their raids across the countryside. I saw stacks of witch pikes, rows of reliquaries, and jars of what I assume is the refined netherroot brew.
Ben needs the refined netherroot brew for his elixir.
Right. And I heard the camp leader, a nasty creature named Sableye, tell his troops to make sure to use the new supply that just arrived from Blackreach. Let's go grab a jar or two.
I'm ready. I think we're all excited about the 10th anniversary year, and it'll be super fun to see what they did for the birthday event, which will happen right after Justice Festival. Let's now investigate the camp in which we find werewolf enemies.
If you insist.
Greyhost supply cart.
No jars in this cart. Let's try another one.
We also find a book called Solitude Bedtime Stories. A book, maybe I should make a standalone video about that. Search Greyhost supply cart.
Not this cart either. I hope we didn't miss it.
One more to
Time to
examine.
dismember the monsters. I'll take that one.
A provisioning recipe. Probably already know that. Search cart.
Stop them, my packmates. I'll get this brew to the witches.
Sableye has the brew. Let's find him before he gets away.
Oh my. This turned into a chase.
I'll take that one.
Quest marker not there, but behind the mountain. Sableye, a
What the Grey Host does with spies.
kinda sorts a large enemy. Not a match for Lyrica. Refined netherwood brew. Take.
You got a jar of the refined brew? Let's talk over here.
And then we need to speak with the Lyris again.
Luck was with us. If we had reached this camp even a few moments later, Sableye would have gotten away with the netherroot brew.
This looks like the jar of refined brew we found in Zingales' laboratory.
After all this trouble, Fen better be able to use it to make his elixir. I'll take the jar of refined netherroot brew to Solitude. We'll meet up in Svanna's chambers when everyone gets back from their missions. I hope they're all right.
You seem to have grown fond of Fen and Svanna.
Fen has proven himself, especially after what happened in Blackreach. House Ravenwatch, they're unusual as far as bloodsuckers go. As for Svanna, she's braver than I originally thought. Anyway, meet me in Solitude after you finish up.
What else do I need to do?
In addition to the refined netherroot brew, Fen needs information on the Ice Reach Coven medallions. Plus, we're hoping to learn more about the big storm the Grey Host has planned. Help Fen and Svanna at the other camps, then meet me in Solitude.
We learned more about the medallions at the coastal camp. Fen's on his way back to the Blue Palace.
Glad to hear that worked out. With any luck, Fen will produce a working elixir in short order. Then we can stop worrying about the Harrow storms and concentrate on defeating the Grey Host. Which reminds me, go to the Blackreach camp and aid Svanna.
Alrighty. We can get to the Blackreach camp easily by taking the lift here. I'm going to run there and then fetch more coffee. Lifts and way shrines, the indirect area around them, are usually safe places without enemies. I'll park you here for just a moment. Well, hello there, tiny duckman. Am I in the picture? Almost. Oh, that's good enough. Let's now take that lift to Blackreach. Blackreach is a strange, beautiful place. I really like it here. So, where do we our camp? The camp seems to be behind this way shrine, somewhere in this area. So we're going to run here and travel to the other side of the road. So this wasn't as convenient as I had hoped. That's alright, because running around gives us a chance to enjoy this strange, peculiar world a little bit further. Let's go here and see if we're any closer. Traveling or walking in this area is majorly challenging for my poor brain, so I'm going to travel to the other side. Namely, here. Because I thought I saw a more direct path here. So let's see if we can get to our destination. Here. This looks like a path, a road type of path even. Pretty. Dark Moon Grotto discovered. Are we getting closer to our destination? I thought I saw a marker.
God damn it! Run!
Did it?
I came here to learn what the Grey Host has planned, and what did I find? Good citizens of the Holds, afflicted by the Harrow storms and kept prisoner for some ungodly purpose. No matter how many I set free, the Herald will not leave this place.
Have you had an opportunity to scout out the Grey Host camp?
That's all I've been doing, and trying to get these afflicted people to leave this place. The Herald, the storm robs them of their will, their minds. I wasn't able to slip deeper into the camp, though.
We need to try to find out about the big storm the Grey Host is planning.
Agreed. There appear to be a number of Grey Host warlords in the camp, so discovering their plans should be possible. We need to be careful, though. I don't want us to wind up like the Herald, serving as food for these bastards.
Tell me what you noticed while scouting around the camp.
Messages have been coming and going since I arrived. I've heard the name Rada al-Saran, the Ashen Lord, spoken in hushed and revered tones. His name was on the communique you found, remember? We need to get down there and see what else we can learn.
I wonder what the Grey Host is doing down there.
Hiding, building their forces, digging, undermining. That's the correct term, I think. Plus, they're collecting the Herald, herding them like cattle. It's monstrous what they're doing to these poor people.
Are you sure you should be down here, Princess?
The only thing I'm sure of is I have to try. If my father won't act, then it falls on me to get things done. It's what my mother would want me to do.
What happened? Conversation turned into combat conversation. Also, ball came out. Oh well. Could have been in. So, what do we do? Fine.
Look, on the scaffold. Let's eavesdrop on those werewolves.
Eavesdrop on werewolves. Hello. So we go over here.
There, on the left. Let's listen in.
On the left. Oh, upstairs. Vantage point, spy.
Exarch Zingalis has fallen. I have never seen Rada el-Saran, our Ashen Lord, so feel the sorrow or the rage.
Does the loss of the Exarch alter our plans?
Not in the least. The strike on Solitude will occur as planned after Exarch Ulfra tests the improved ritual in the Undergrove.
An attack on Solitude? We need to move quickly.
So, what then? Let's continue to investigate. Another area lies here. Discover Grey Host Pets. Let's return and investigate. Again, no loot. Peculiar. So... Oh. I see a mocap. Spy
I
again.
left the orders in my tent, but the Ashen Lord was clear. We need more Netherroot. See to the Undergrove immediately.
As you command, Pintock.
The Undergrove? That sounds important.
I don't
Grey
feel I
Host
was...
definitely has something big planned. Let's search the tents for a copy of those orders.
adequately hidden. Which is silly, actually. So now we need to go here to find Grey Host Flats. Which are conveniently waiting for us on the table. Cushioned carpet, crescent moons. My beloved king, I have no words. Zingalis is dead. That's awful. His killers have retreated to the shadows. Doubtless they mean to harry us in our righteous labor. Already there are whispers of them seeking to stop the spread of the Herald. I will not abide any further threats to our goal. My family will be delivered from their torment, and not even Molag Bal himself can stop me. To that end, we must accelerate our efforts. All preparations preparing the attack on Solitude must be completed post-haste. To that end, make sure everything required for the work in the Undergrove is ready. The location is hidden and secure inside the ancient barrow, which fell into the earth for just this purpose. It will make a perfect testing ground for the next stage of the Herald Storms. Exarch Ulfra shall lead those efforts and prepare the way for the final Herald Storm. Grey Host victorious. Rada al-Saran, the Ashen Lord.
That's what we were looking for. Let's talk over there.
I have a single hair tickling my eye. Sorry about that. That happens more often than I care to admit. Speak with Svada.
Orders from Rada al-Saran. His words sent a chill down my spine. Their plan for Solitude? It might even be more dreadful than an all-out attack. We need to get back and determine the exact location of this Undergrove place.
You really think Solitude is in danger?
You saw what happened at Kilcreath and Carthwatch? Whatever they have planned for Solitude, it sounds a whole lot worse. I wish we knew more about this Rada al-Saran and what drives him.
He makes it sound like he considers his army to be his family.
A family of monsters? Who could imagine vampires and werewolves working together? Let alone talking about one another like brothers and sisters. It's not natural.
Hopefully the orders we found will give us an advantage.
I'm glad I got to look around Blackreach, but I can't wait to see the sun and sky again. No matter how big these caverns are, it still feels like we're buried alive down here.
What else do I need to do?
We came down here to find out what the Grey Host has planned. But Fen still needs information about how the medallions are created, and a sample of the refined netherroot brew. Help Fen and Lyris at the other camps. Then meet me in Solitude.
We got the medallion information and the netherroot brew. Fen and Lyris will meet us in Solitude.
Then we're done here. I hope we found enough to end the threat of the Grey Host. I'll meet you back at the Blue Palace. Good luck, my friend.
So now we are free to return to the Blue Palace. Because traveling by foot in this place is rather horrible. I will just do this. So convenient. Traveling to your homes is not only convenient but also free. We have a bit of a run to the Blue Palace, but At least Solitude is, for now, safe. As in, we don't need to worry about enemies or other sorts of mishaps. It seems we need to go to Svana's chambers.
So, do we have a way to defend against the Harrow Storms or what?
The elixir should do what we need, provided neither Fen nor I made any miscalculations.
Yolen, don't be so negative. The elixir will work. You'll see. Oh, good. You're back. Mjolin and I have been discussing the various ways to turn what we've got into a protective elixir. I'm hesitant to get too excited, but I think we've figured out how to defend against the Harrow Storms.
Tell me what you're thinking.
The Grey Host uses an unstable mix of alchemy and sorcery to create the Harrow Storms. An arcane ritual and the Netherroot brew focus the power of each Harrow Storm through the prepared witch pikes. Ingenious, but fully exploitable.
Exploitable? How so?
We can use the refined brew as the basis of our elixir. Now that we understand how the Harrow Storms are created, we can use those same components to replicate the medallion's protective properties. We just need to gather the necessary components.
How can I help?
Svana's associate, Mog, will procure most of the supplies I need, but there's one final ingredient required. For various reasons, I can't simply walk into the Hall of the Dead and claim it myself. I need you to acquire Arcae's Sacred Oil.
Arcane's sacred oil?
A holy ointment associated with a god that became popular due to imperial influence. It's used by the priests in the Hall of the Dead to provide protection against necromancy and the undead. We need that oil to create our elixir.
Alright, go to Solitude's
You'll
Hall
need my
of
help.
the Dead.
I'll meet you at the Hall of the Dead. Mog, put away the tankard and get the supplies Fen requires.
Yes, your royal ladiness. But I'm keeping the tankard.
Yeah. So where is the Hall of the Dead? Is it in the middle of the city? In the city center? Let's investigate. I see a marker right there, so let's go there.
Gods, more refugees arrive by the hour. Why does Fargrim hesitate?
The High King issues orders.
Princess Vana, what can I do for you, Your Highness?
Listen to my friend, High Priest. We need your help.
Speak with High Priest Ingard.
I'm surprised to see the princess here. As you can see, the influx of refugees has made this place much more hectic than usual. Is there something I can do for Princess Vana?
We need some of Arcane's sacred oil.
Sacred oil? Strange. That's the second time today someone has come seeking Arcae's anointing balm.
Oh my.
Sword Thane Athlet arrived with an edict from the king. Demanded our entire supply. How we're to consecrate the dead without it, I have no idea.
Why did High King Svargrim want all the sacred oil?
The Sword Thane wouldn't say. He just mentioned that the High King needed it to defend Solitude. I'm sorry I can't comply with the princess's request. Things are hard enough that these refugees must take shelter here among the dead.
Do you know where the Sword Thane took Arcae's sacred oil?
The Sword Thane took the oil to Castle Dower. That's where all the supplies for a siege are gathered during periods of strife. I pray that High King Svargrim receives the patience and wisdom required to see us through this crisis.
Tell me more about Castle Dower.
Solitude's foundation began with the construction of Castle Dower. It's the oldest structure in the city, and the most defensible. I tried to move the refugees there for safekeeping, but my request was denied. The High King has other plans, I suppose.
Well, it would have been too simple if Arcane's sacred oil would have been just there for the taking. Sword, Thane, all that dude there. Right next to Guild Vendors.
There's an urgent task for you.
Is Princess Svana.
Sword Thing, our business is urgent.
Oh,
My
there you
friend
are.
will explain.
I don't have time for the princess's proclivities right now. The High King, we barely keep up with the multitude of tasks, so speak quickly and let me get back to it.
The High Priest said you took all the sacred oil. The princess needs some of it.
My orders from the High King were clear. Stockpile the entire supply of sacred oil in the Temple of the Divines here within the confines of Castle Dower. What in Shore's name does the princess need with holy oil anyway?
There's an elixir that protects against harrow storms, but it requires the sacred oil.
Protection? Truly? The Herald already outnumber my soldiers, and more arrive every day. Still, giving you the oil would violate the High King's edict. I suppose if I happened to look the other way for a moment, I wouldn't notice if a flask disappears.
I understand. Let's sneakily take a
A single
flask of oil.
Then we'll have to make
Thank
do.
you.
Let's get it back to...
Forthane, by his work! I gave strict orders, yet my daughter freely enters the castle grounds. What do they want, Swordthane?
They,
We came to offer our assistance, Father. Sword Thane, how can we help?
Athlet has everything well in hand, child. Despite your intentions, you would only hinder our efforts. Go! The Sword Thing doesn't need my daughter or her wastrel underfoot.
Insult us. Speaking with Svana is an optional step, so let's just return to the Blue Palace.
Once it's ready, I'll test the elixir.
As you say, Lyris. Ah, here they come now. You have the sacred oil? Add it to the cauldron.
Now we need to just add oil to the cauldron. Add sacred oil.
Yes, a perfect fusion. It's ready to be tested. Come, let's talk.
Speak with that.
With the addition of the sacred oil, the elixir is complete. Before we produce enough to distribute to the people of Western Skyrim, we need to test it. I'm confident of my work, but we're dealing with powerful forces here.
How do you plan to test the elixir?
We can't wait for the next Harrow Storm to strike. But what you and Svana learned in Blackreach might help. You heard that Exarch Ulfra was testing Harrowstorm rituals in a place called the Undergrove. We'll go there and let Lyris drink the elixir.
Right. The orders mentioned the undergrowth is hidden in an ancient barrow.
During my explorations of Blackreach, I came across an ancient burial site, a place called the Midnight Barrow. This undergrowth must be inside those ruins. Once there, you and Svanna keep watch from a safe distance, while Lyris steps into the storm.
I guess we're going to the Midnight Barrow.
From what I could tell, the Midnight Barrow sank into Blackreach in the distant past. Somewhere in its chambers, we'll find the undergrowth. The ruined barrow is in the Lightless Hollow, in the northwest portion of the cavern. We'll meet you there.
So we need to go back to the Caverns of Horror. A mark has it there. Do we go on this side? Oh, that's the Lightless Hollow, so I suppose we will travel here. We shall go to the Way Shrine. Jumping to a Way Shrine when you're not at a Way Shrine costs a bit of gold, and I am hesitant about paying the price when I know that there is a convenient Way Shrine nearby. So let's travel here and see if we are at the correct location, or even close to it. Go to the Midnight Barrow. We are not at the correct location. I'm going to travel there instead. That looks a little bit more convenient. Is this a delve? Looks like it. Quest giver was said to be down, but
Please don't make me do this.
we shan't pick up the quest today, for it would confuse us excessively.
You and Fen stay put until we clear a path to the undergrowth.
Fine. Just
We need
don't
to
take all day.
get there.
This is it. Look lively and let's get on with it.
Navigating through places like this is not my forte. Let's go this way. Enemies. Can't get past the skeletal group. Saddens me, those things are kind of adorable. They remind me of Oshnar's skinned hound in Oblivion. You could get that as a reward for a quest, and then the skinned hound would follow you around anywhere you went, and it died super easily. I had a mod that made it essential, thus turning it or making it so that it could never die.
This must be the place. I'll go back and get...
No need. We're here.
The princess insisted.
We followed at a safe distance and only advanced after you cleared the way. From this point on, we stay together. And that's an order.
Alright.
Yes.
Enter
what
the
she said.
underground.
Now, let's enter the underground. We need to find where they're experimenting with the Harrow Storms.
Surprisingly, we are to explore the
Honor
underground.
me with your presence, my king.
Grey Host, stay quiet and listen.
This Harrow Storm must be the biggest we have ever wrought, my sister-in-arms.
That's the leader of the Grey Host.
Have we heard from Solitude? Is everything in place?
I have been assured the city is ripe for harvest.
Rada al-Saran and Exarch Ulfra. Should we postpone the test?
Certainly not. The holds are counting on us. Besides, we might be able to end this threat right here and now.
This is the fourth part of the... No, fifth part of the main story, so I don't think it ends here.
Killed our beloved Singalis.
And you're about to join him.
Oh dear.
Impudent mortal. You will pay for your crime. Now,
Varys?
the rest of these curs.
Are you okay?
Allow me the honor of spilling their
Do we need
blood.
to battle now?
Very well, sweet sister. Join me in Greymoor.
Let this Harrow Storm lay the flesh from your bones.
We need to leave. Svanna, no!
Oh no. Protect Svanna.
See to Lyris, Fen. And pray your elixir works.
She needs time for the elixir to do its job.
This scene again teaches you how the Harrow Storms work. Which is actually kind of nice.
It worked. I think it worked. I stood in a Harrow Storm and nothing happened. Fen's elixir is a success. And we took out another one of the Grey Host leaders. We've done good, my friend.
Are you sure you're alright?
Never better. We need to create as much of the elixir as possible and distribute it throughout Solitude before Rada al-Saran's massive Harrow Storm hits.
Sounds like a
I
plan.
also want to find out who in the city is helping him. Let's meet back at the Blue Palace.
I will meet you at the Blue
Once my
Palace.
father understands that we have a way to protect against the Harrow Storms, he'll have to take us seriously. Let's get back to the city as fast as we can.
Let's. So again, instead of running to a way shrine, we are going to just hop on over to Snowmelt Suite. Go to the Blue Palace. I am guessing this ends the fifth part of the Western Sky Zone story. I played through this before, obviously, but that was a long time ago and I can't fully remember what happens. Talk to High King Svargrim.
Listen to your daughter, Svargrim. We need to do something. Don't test me, Redharn. I know exactly what I need to do.
Everybody sounds angry.
Our enemies circle ever closer, and now even my daughter turns against me. What's next? Will my beloved wife return to accuse me of some heinous crime? Well, get to it. Tell me about Svana's miraculous elixir before I have the lot of you tossed out.
The elixir works. Svana tested it herself and withstood a hailstorm.
You represent my most hated enemy and expect me to believe a word you say? Even if you speak true, worms have found purchase in the wood and seek to rot my kingdom from within. I will not let Solitude and the Western Holds fall.
If you can't trust us, at least trust your daughter.
Trust Svana? Perhaps. No. No! Your honeyed words are but echoes of my most obstinate foes. You offer a miracle with one hand, while holding a poison dagger in the other.
We only want to help.
Help? I need no help from the likes of you.
Don't be a fool, father. This elixir will save our people.
How the stubbornness of men.
You, daughter. You have actually surpassed my expectations, more's the pity. And I'll hear no more talk of this miracle elixir.
Father!
The Grey Host is my true ally.
Oh no.
Once the Harrow Storm engulfs Solitude, my kingdom will endure for all eternity.
I should have sensed it. Svargrim's a vampire.
Svana.
Not now, Lyris. I need to think about this.
Well, that explains why he was so stubborn. Speak with Lyris.
Svargrim's a bastard, but King Yoren believed he had the best interest of his people at heart. Obviously, something changed. And with Solitude targeted for a massive Harrow Storm, things have gotten more complicated.
With Svargrim's help, the Grey Host might already be prepared to summon the Harrow Storm.
Not everything is as grim as it appears. We did create an elixir. That's our best chance of protecting the people from the Harrow Storm. We just need to distribute it. In the meantime, take this. It may not seem like much, but you earned it.
And that completes the 5th stage. We shall continue from here next Thursday. For now, I do believe the time has come to say goodbye. For now, I will return tomorrow at around 9 p.m. to take part in the Justice Festival festivities. And then on Thursday, next Thursday, we shall continue from here at 2 p.m. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all later.